I'm sitting playing at the Beverly Hills Hotel and I hear these two gentlemen talking about Google search engines and one day your phone's gonna be this. My guy hooked it up and we invested and then I forgot all about it.
Are rich and successful people really more lucky? The answer is yes and no. I'll explain further. A few years ago, there was a study done at a university in Italy. Now, the goal of that study was to see how, if at all, talent is used to exploit opportunities. Over a period of time, data was collected. What they did was they created a computer model which measured the choices made over a working life. So during the study, the participants would have lucky events at random. The participants could use their talents to be able to exploit these to increase their wealth. But on the flip side, they would also have negative events, and these negative events would decrease their wealth. So over a period of time, they gathered the results, and these were the results.
The rich are different from you and me.
Yes, they're better. Socially better. And if we fit in, we can be better too.
And actually, they were very surprised at the results. So what they found was that it wasn't the most talented people that had the most money. In fact, it was the luckiest people that had the most money. They ran this model over and over again, and they found the same to be true, that the smartest people didn't have the most money. It was the luckiest people on the model that had the most money. So it's very, very significant findings. If luck is the most important factor, does that mean that successful people have more luck? Let me know what you think in the comments below. This will be one of the reasons why luck doesn't explain why people are rich and successful. So there was a German author called Zieltman, and he interviewed a lot of rich, successful, wealthy people, and he looked for common traits to understand what are the common traits amongst these rich and successful people. So he then gathered his data and then published it in a book. And the book was called Psychology of the Wealthy Elite. So the book was called Psychology of the Wealthy Elite. And one of the key findings he found out was that luck is not the dominant factor when it comes to wealth and success. It's a factor, but it's not the most dominant factor. So just to caveat that, it's a factor, but it's not the most dominant factor when it comes to wealth and success. So the real separator he found was the people that were willing and able to spot an opportunity and then exploit that opportunity, which is really interesting. It's sort of like that kind of analogy when they talk about like a red car. And if you walk down the street and I was to ask you, how many red cars did you see? You'd probably say you're not sure, or give a random number. But then if we were to tell you, look outside for 2 minutes and count how many red cars you come across, you're going to see lots of red cars. Assuming you're in like a busy neighborhood, etc. You get the drift. But the point is, you're gonna, see more red cars. And there's something about that in terms of when you're looking for an opportunity, you tend to spot it more. I think there's a name for that. I'll try and find out, but yeah, there's something there in terms of when you're looking for an opportunity, you tend to see it more than when you're not looking for an opportunity. So definitely that idea of being able to spot an opportunity is definitely something there. So Zieltman eventually narrowed it down to 2 key points, 2 key reasons why he found that successful people are more successful. What are the 2 key traits? The first one is an ability to sell ideas.
Brad, show him how it's done. Boom. Sell me that pen. Watch. Go on.
Why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you name down that napkin for me?
I don't have a pen.
Exactly. Supply and demand, my friend.
The ability to sell makes sense. If you imagine you're trying to put on a show, imagine you're trying to put on like a drama show, part of it would be selling the idea to the people that hold the venue to allow you to put it on. Part of it might be selling the idea to sponsors to sponsor you to be able to have money for marketing and so on. Part of it will be selling to the customers to convince them to why they should watch the show. And part of it will be also selling to the actors themselves to say, hey, why should they come on and act in your show? So there's a lot of selling that goes on, really. So it makes sense that that's a key skill. That one seems to resonate. Then the second one is an ability to bounce back after setbacks. So maybe an example of that might be the pursuit of happiness. With this one, it reminds us that having setbacks is part of the road to success. It's not how many times we fall down, it's getting up again. So definitely that one, with a lot of, if you read the stories of a lot of successful people, they definitely talk about the ups and downs of success. So that one seems to make sense as well in terms of, having that ability to really just think positive and think about, to just really have that attitude of just never giving up really, and just to keep pushing until you're successful. So for me, I believe luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So yeah, I believe that when preparation meets opportunities, I feel like opportunity, the way I look at it is like opportunity is like rain. You know, if you imagine like the UK, United Kingdom, it's for sure it's gonna rain, but you don't know when it's gonna rain. So I feel like that's opportunity. Like that's sort of similar to opportunity. So opportunity will come, but you just don't know when, you don't know how, but it's definitely gonna come. You don't control that. What you do control is the preparation. So just focus on preparing, and eventually the right opportunity will come, right place, right time. That some people will call luck. So that's my thoughts on it. It's similar to Will Smith. So Will Smith, when he was in, you know, he had a fantastic story in his book where he talked about how he got his break for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So what he talked about was that he was really struggling. His album wasn't really doing well, and it was a really dark time for him. You know, money was really, really low, and so on. He was a, you know, for those that don't know, so he was a singer, a rapper first, before he then went on to star on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Sounds like it was kind of like an after party after a show, but it was one of those that there was like a lot of like, you know, industry people that would come to it.
My girlfriend was like,
dude, we're not doing this. Like, you're not just gonna be laying around this house all day. You gonna go do something.
I was like, what? What I'm supposed to do?
Go where people is doing it.
Where people doing it?
Go to the Arsenio Hall show.
Just go stand around at the Arsenio Hall show.
Yeah.
That's where he met lots of people there. And then one of the people was actually looking for someone to star in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And when he had a conversation with Will, he thought that actually he would be a great fit to be in the role. They swapped numbers, and eventually this guy then introduced Will Smith to Quincy Jones. And Quincy Jones was the guy that, you know, was instrumental in putting the Fresh Prince together. He met Quincy Jones, and, you know, he did well in the auditions, and the rest, as they say, is history. But the key thing there was that he was in the right place at the right time. He went there, he saw an opportunity, he prepared, opportunity came, he capitalized on it, and yeah, he was able to meet that person. But had he not gone there, maybe he wouldn't have met that person, who would not have then, you know, been able to give his details to Quincy Jones. So definitely there's something there about, you know, preparing and, you know, that preparation meeting opportunity. Let me know what your thoughts are on luck and whether you feel that, you know, rich and successful people are really more lucky. And I've got one. We'll see you next time.